Hello, hello. Let's get started with a new set of sketches. We are going to be working with Creative Scrappers sketches for the next 38 weeks. This is a sketch blog that's no longer in business and functioning. Most of the sketches are created by Christine Davidson, but some of them are created by others. And you just saw the one that we're going to be using today. I have 3 photos, and we're going to be working with Minte's Apple Season. I'm going to go ahead and start by choosing my papers. So this set of sketches for the Creative Scrappers Sketches Reimagined is going to be a bit of a challenge for me because these sketches, the Creative Scrapper sketches, are very much in my wheelhouse. These Christine Davidson sketches are very much my style, and I love them. So it's going to be hard, I think, for me to be able to kind of reimagine them and try to veer away from the sketch a little bit. It's going to be a bit challenging, but it's going to be fun at the same time. So yes, this sketch series will run for 38 weeks, and then we'll go ahead and grab another set of sketches. I found all of the sketches I'm using, they're just on Pinterest. I will, of course, be adding them to the sketches I have used board on my Pinterest account. So I'm going through all of these gorgeous papers. I love, love, love this Apple Season collection. This is the 3rd layout I've done with it. And I think there's going to be at least 2 more, maybe more than 2, but definitely 2 more coming your way. So I've chosen all my papers, and now it's time to start cutting them. I love the way the pattern papers are designed in this sketch. I think that the pattern papers are, designed, how do I say this? So it's almost like the background is kind of set up like a quilt, kind of set up like a half and half design. Really cool. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to start by cutting the branding strips off of my papers. And then the biggest part of this particular sketch is going to be this large kind of diagonal piece of gingham paper. So I can't cut this on my trimmer because I need to cut it on the diagonal. So this is how I do it when I need to cut a paper on the diagonal like this. I just carefully fold it over so that I have the area I need to be. So I have that diagonal pattern, and then I take my Teflon bone folder and crease it really, really good. And that way I can just take I can just take my scissors and hand cut it. But because I've creased it so well, the scissors almost kind of like cut it for me. So they'll kind of stay in that groove, and I get a nice clean cut that way. So the sketch shows some of these papers kind of, they don't fill my white background. So there's definitely like a white border, or it could be a colored border, it could be a black border. I guess it just kind of depends. But in order to kind of keep that white border, each of my triangles are going to be trimmed just a bit smaller. So I'm going to use my trimmer to kind of cut these 6x6 papers on the diagonal, but then I'm going to trim them so that they will fit into that other area while preserving a white border. I don't really have exact measurements for you. I just kept trimming down my triangles till they all fit where they were supposed to fit, and I still had preserved some of the white border. So this is where I'm going to end up putting all of these triangles down. I just love this base page design, like the idea of these gorgeous triangles. I love them. They're really great. Perfect for collections where you have lots of patterns, where you love the patterns, where you have patterns that have texture. I almost want to do another page with this type of a base, but with like all those gorgeous Prima Pink Autumn collection, because that would be fabulous too. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get my little triangles down here, and then we can continue on with our layout. So one of the things I'm going to do to kind of change up this layout is the sketch shows each of these photos individually matted. I'm going to mat them all together onto one pattern paper. So these photos are of my friends and I. We took a day and went apple picking. I have so many apple picking photos. And we were all wearing orange that day. And technically it was fall, even though it was like hot and we were in shorts. And I kind of mentioned on Monday about how I don't have a lot of like fall photos. But I do have these. And I actually also took some pictures of the pumpkin patch. So I'm going to use those for kind of fall photos, as well as the couple I have of my nieces. And that'll be kind of like my fall content for November, I guess. So I went ahead, I put all those photos together. We took a photo of each one of us standing in the apple orchard, eating an apple right off the tree. It was such a fun day. I can't wait to scrapbook the rest of the photos I took from this day. It was a really, really fun day. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and pop up these 3 photos onto some foam tape. And that's going to give a little bit of lift and dimension to my layout. And it's also going to give some separation between my photos and all the papers in the background. And so that will keep the photos in pride of place and where your photos should be without the background kind of overwhelming the photos. Now let's go ahead and work on this title. I went through my thicker stash and I grabbed some of these older thickers. They are like a glittery teal. I think that they both complement and also contrast enough of the colors in this collection that they will definitely work. And then I can go ahead and use up some of my thicker stash. I did a brutal purge of my thickers. I only kept a couple sets. I am very slowly getting to the point where I have no thickers in my stash. I'm so excited. So I wanted to go ahead and use up these because they match the collection. I am going to use a really simple title called Apple Picking and just kind of go with that. I love, love, love these thickers with this pattern, and I kind of set them aside and hopefully I can use up all the E's and then they can hit the bin as I work through my apple picking photos. I want to go ahead and use one of these printable labels from Nicole Jones 911 just to annotate who I was with, what we were doing, and then I'm going to stamp the date below the below on this label too. So simple journaling. I don't have a lot to say about it. It was really just a really, really fun day with these girls. So next up, I'm going to go through all of my die cuts and put some clusters together. This is the other way I'm going to reimagine or switch up this sketch. I really wanted a cluster up in that top right corner, and so I moved the clusters all around. In the sketch, the clusters are kind of just all centered towards the bottom and around the title, and so I kind of took those 3 clusters and moved them around throughout the layout in a different configuration. And initially I was going to just go with that apple basket, but that truck was perfect. Had to use the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and use that truck above my title, and I'm going to kind of layer up lots of different flowers and florals around this page. And yeah, I love, love, love. You guys know how much I love Minte die cuts because there's no white borders and I can layer and cluster, and there's oodles of die cuts in a pack. Plus you get fussy cut sheets that are also part of this. I know that this line is pretty much sold out over at A Cherry on Top. So if you were able to grab a set of these products, consider this some fabulous project inspiration for you. And keep an eye on the pre-order page because I'm sure there will be more Minte collections coming to the shop. So I'm just going to tuck in and around all these gorgeous, gorgeous die cuts. I love this deep red mixed with the pink and the teal. So, so, so good. I ended up not popping up any of these elements when I adhered them down. I just left them right on the page. And again, that helps my photos to stay in focus and to be the focus of the page, because I have popped up those photos for a bit more dimension. So this is the configuration I'm going to go with, and I'm just going to go through now and kind of stick it all down using my tape runner. And yeah, that's where we're going to call this one done. I didn't add in a lot of the sticking stuff down because I felt like who wants to watch me stick stuff down for like a full 2 minutes? But these are how the clusters are going to go. And I did tuck in one of those little birds up in the top right. Those birds are so cute. And here are all of your close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you like this new set of sketches that I have chosen, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday and into Thursday. And I will see you all again very soon. Bye.